I am KuanYin. The channeler asked me about manifesting. And truly the bottom line around manifesting is that when humans consider creating something from seemingly nothing, they make a few errors in their judgment. The error is that they believe that they can have only small pieces of physical awarenesses. And it is quite sad to us because when we notice you on the other side, we see the vastness that you are, and we see the energy that you are, and we see what you are capable of creating, and we see and experience and know all the vastness that lay in your playroom, as KuanYin calls that space that holds all good things for her. And we see all of the good things that you are capable of creating, and you limit yourself greatly by saying, I only want this car, or this house, or this money, or this thing. And I believe that once I have this thing, then everything in my experience will change, and I will feel better, and I will be more appealing to others, and I will matter in this physical experience. Or I will just simply be more comfortable, and that will make me happier. And we say to you, this is somewhat true in that you may feel a little bit better, but there are things that come along with things, responsibilities of those things, catering to those things, holding on to those things, clinging to those things for safety and feelings of security, pulling those things along with you as you move from place to place, and you almost carry all of these things on your back, and you begin to become weighed down by them emotionally and mentally. And then all of the falseness from those around you that might look at that level of success and put you on some kind of a pedestal and say, oh, they look so good. They're manifesting those things. Look at how they create those things. Look at how they have been able to do those things, and look at how spiritual they are, and look at how jealous I am of them, and I'm not able to create those things for myself. And it's a very fun, interesting, funny thing, because as we look at you from this side, we know what it is that you really want. You want peace. You want freedom. You want love. You want the big emotions. You want the big feelings, the big energy. You want the big things that will translate into everything you need in a moment's notice. This pushing that you have done in your life and experience up till this point to get those things is not necessarily effective in the long term. And so you get to this point where you begin to understand that manifesting is a very old way of doing things. It doesn't serve you well in the long run. It can be a starting point, which we feel can be very helpful. And in this starting point, in this moment, you can say, I've manifested things. I can manipulate energy. And manipulating energy is not the same as connecting with your source and allowing all good things to flow to you naturally, and receiving all of the things and all of the goodness and all of the big energy feelings that we want for you. Manipulating energy is just pushing to create something. And so there are phases of this. So when you have a human, at first they may have a victim-victor mentality, and they don't know much about energy at all. They don't know that their thoughts are creating their experiences and all of the things that are even vastly more important than those ideas. And so they are in this place. I have, so I win. I don't have, so I lose. And very, very, very variations in between those levels. And a lot of other things as well, but we'll look at just this piece, victim and victor. And then they come into contact with new information. Either they are attracting this into their life because some big event caused them to notice that they have access to energy. And they say, okay, this is good. I can get what I want in this new way. And so the ego becomes involved in this process. And the ego says, oh, look at me. I can get what I want, so I'm going to get what I want. And I've gotten what I want. And then the ego says, see, can you see everyone around me? Look at how amazing I am. I've gotten what I want. Please praise me for my ability to get what I want. I got what I want. And then a lot of times people stay there. Humans stay there, and they say, this is enough for me in this life experience. I don't need more good, positive energy feelings. I just wanted my stuff. And they hang out with that for a little while. And then they, after they hang out with that for a little while, those people who do not want to just hang out with that, who want more than that, who want to energetically align with Source, who knows that there is something more, they will then get connected to a new idea. And in fact, they may even choose to not manifest the old way any longer. And when they choose not to do it the old way, sometimes the old way stops altogether. So there's no flow, there's no money, there's no things, there's nothing coming into that individual's awareness. And it's to help them understand the impermanence of the things they create, the tangible things they create on earth, because ultimately they cannot take it with them. So it is all right for them to let those things go, because they will notice that they will survive solely on the source energy that brings them into alignment with all the good things that are available to them. The big feeling, the big energy, the big knowing. And as they experience this new understanding, they are overjoyed. They are overjoyed. And the abundance comes when they need the abundance. And the things come when they need the things. But not before. And often they find they need very little. That doesn't mean that big abundance doesn't come financially or through physical items, but it just feels joyful. It feels more joyful, not an eventual burden, but a blissful experience where they create a oneness with these items. And the energy, the flow, the effortlessness moves through every single idea and concept and realization. And it becomes so easy for them to connect with the truth of who they are. When you take on the big energy, the big knowing, the big truth, the big awarenesses, when you take on this incredible opportunity to become realized and potentially enlightened, you will find you need nothing. There is nothing outside of yourself that needs to be there to sustain you. All good things are on their way to you. In every moment of every day, every experience you have is more full. It's full of everything you love. And creating this opportunity with you, of this knowing, of this peace, of this truth, of this awareness, we invite you and encourage you to release the idea of manipulating energy. Because once you try to manipulate source, it's lost. All of the power that it has to offer you a limitless supply, lavish abundance, all of that falls to the wayside if your intentions are not fully loving. It becomes another burden. And so instead, we invite you to look at what it is you really need. And what you really need, we'll tell you now, is the nurturing of your beingness. That is who you really are. The nurturing and expansion of the truth of you. And these are not empty words, and you can feel this energy as it flows to you now. Because this is the truth, and you can feel that. And those people who manipulate energy to get things are not doing it wrong. They're just taking the first step. And they're learning about energy. And they're learning that it's possible to flow energy in a direction of their desire. And they're learning that there is some feedback from that. Some information comes back to them from practicing this idea. It comes back to them, and then they, unfortunately, generally, they just want more. And then it becomes a bit of a cyclical loop. But those of you who are more than likely listening to this have chosen that you want to know your source. You want to know that you are the center of the universe. You want to know how to make that big feeling and that big energy bigger. You want to know not the limitation of the pushing of an idea at a thing to make it come to you. Instead, you say, I am open to receiving all the gifts that belong to me. They are mine. They are mine. They are mine. They're mine, not because I asked for them and not because I pushed them into existence. They are mine because I'm a sovereign being. I'm a limitless being. I am a knowing being. And I enjoy being at ease with this process and knowing who I am. Because in that knowing, I can transmute, shift, and transform any experience into something that will nurture and soothe and love me in any framed understanding that I have. Because I am allowed to be happy, to be joyful, to be open, and to be free. You will remember who you are. You will remember who you are. And as you do, as you get clearer, as you understand yourself even better, you will notice all of the big things coming your way. And that big feeling and that big knowing will open up recesses of your mind as you expand the universe 1,000-fold. Remember who you are.